Hey guys, Poketing King here, back with another Pokemon video, and today we're going to talk about Pokemon, the Pokemon market, Prismatic Evolutions, Journey Together, the next set, the Team Rocket, blah 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 blah. I kind of am I'm lost for words, honestly, with what's going on right now. I think there's so much FOMO, so much kind of hype, so much driving forces behind everything that's happening in Pokemon right now. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of people that are angry, that are upset, that are sad. There's a lot of emotions. It does feel like an emotional roller coaster right now, and I know a lot of people aren't enjoying it, and I can completely understand why you wouldn't. It's just an absolute storm of I generally don't know what to say, honestly. I think a lot of people think because I've been in this game long enough, um, it's pretty standard that I know what's going to happen and stuff like that. But obviously, I don't. I generally don't. Like, I know we're going to go through waves of big booms and popularity, and then there's going to be waves of like kind of normality, which we've had over the last few years. But I never know when things are going to change. I can have predictions, and my prediction was late 2025, not this early. But the movements that we're seeing across the board in English and in Japanese, whether it's modern, whether it's vintage, I really am lost for words. And I kind of have to take myself out of the situation sometimes because I am also a business. I run a business. I run Wraith Tavern Cards. And I obviously sell product, modern product. Majority of my business is singles, but I do sell sealed, and it makes it very difficult for businesses like myself to kind of navigate this market because obviously for customers it's extremely difficult, but for myself as well, it means that allocations are really bad. I might not get product, that I want to supply to my customers. I'm seeing stores that are holding back product to sell for double. I'm seeing allocations get cut. I'm seeing loads of cancellations and orders. And it does just create this whirlwind of emotion. Now, when I did this, I set off really to ensure that I could provide a great service to my customers, following good morals and ethics and making sure that the business that I provide is the best that I can. At the end of the day, I'm a business. I need to make money, but also, there's making money and there's making money. Now, I'm not going to shun other businesses for the way that they run their business or the practices they're going to follow. That's entirely up to them, however they want to run their business. But I'm not in it for the short term. I'm here. I've been in TCGs for 20 years. This isn't a quick flip. This isn't a quick buck. I want to be in this game long term. And I think, the best way of doing that is to create a loyal customer base of customers that are going to come back every time because they know the service, is efficient. It is, reasonable pricing, and also trust. The trust is really the most important thing here. A trust between a buyer and a seller is really important. And that's the reason why, with Prismatic Evolutions, because my allocations were so low, I decided to only sell it to my YouTube members. So that is something that obviously has been discussed. If you're a YouTube member right now watching, you've already placed your order. Moving forward, YouTube members will always get priority over, standard. I obviously want to go back onto Whatnot streaming. I haven't streamed for a while. I kind of stopped streaming when things went a bit weird on there. But I do want to get back to Whatnot. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy live streaming. Obviously, back to YouTube streaming as well. Whatnot can drive so much more because it's a seamless process. But obviously, the fees are high, and there's an icky feeling around the hobby with Whatnot, and I completely understand that. My sentiment feels exactly the same. You might have seen me wear Whatnot merch. I'm not affiliated with them in terms of there's no contract. That's why I haven't streamed for so long. So I'm 100% transparent in my feelings towards the way that the business is run sometimes, and the shady stuff that does happen. They definitely need to crack down on it more. These temp bans is useless. If sellers generally are stealing cards, taking them off screen, a lot of the shady practices, they should be banned indefinitely. They should not ever be allowed back on that platform. But that is a topic for another video. But so I decided to strictly do it for YouTube members. Obviously, Journey Together is the next set, which is the Battle Partners set that in Japanese. That will most likely be mostly for YouTube members. So they'll place their orders in. It'll be done, Obviously, if you're a YouTube member, you also get 5% off as well. So it does make things a little bit cheaper. But I want to create a business around that. I know that it's going to be mental the next few years. So the focus for me is I'd rather have quality over quantity in terms of customer base. More of a specialized clientele as such. And then the rest of the other side of the business, the singles, is, just standard. So if you do want to become a YouTube member, obviously you have missed Prismatic, but you can get in on for the next set. And then obviously the future sets, Team Rocket, all that is going to be coming on. But this isn't a shill for my YouTube membership. So what is happening with Pokemon? Why is this happening? Obviously, we have a huge demand in Pokemon right now, and we've just seen mental. We've seen, obviously, pre-orders went up. We've got a lot of cancellations. I think a lot of these stores that have jumped on it, there's a lot of, like, department stores as well. So, like, House of Fraser, like John Lewis, some of the Freeman, some of these other random stores that don't really often sell Pokemon. They put up pre-orders, and I don't think that they realised just how much demand they'd get. And also bots as well. Bots is a really huge thing. I had bots come onto my site and I had to cancel the orders. Thankfully, I kind of caught it early on. Even though I did name everything differently, specifically for this, it's supposed to be a private link. But, I managed to cancel it and stop them. Because at the end of the day, it's not just, as I said, it's not just about banking a quick buck. There's so much more to it than that. But that's a lot of the reason why things are going mental. And this just demand, I mean, you look at the Japanese and English, you look at sealed, you look at singles, you look at graded. Japanese have started to go absolutely mental recently. I did a video recently going through some of the bits that I'd picked up recently, like the Korokoro Mew, the Gold Star Pikachu, the GR Rally, and the Stamp Pikachu. And they're already up like 25% since I bought them. Now, obviously, I'm not selling them. They're part of my collection, but it does feel good to buy when things are, in a bit of a barren market. Buying things when they've gone down a little bit feels great, and then you see them go up, and you're like, okay, fair enough. But generally across the board, everything is getting cleared out. Sealed, all Scarlet Violet, Sword and Shield. Now people are going back to vintage, Japanese slabs, raw, are all going. Like, it is just mental. I'll be at London Card Show in EUIC next month, and I generally don't know what it's going to be like. I generally don't. I have no clue how mad it's going to be. I'll be there, as always, filming content, but also making some deals. So it might be a good opportunity to cash out on some of the bits that, I don't necessarily want to keep in my collection, to pick up some more cards that I do want in my collection. Obviously, it's never nice to see this madness. As I said before, there is an emotional toll that it does have on people. And I completely understand. You look at the pull rates now for Prismatic Evolutions. I generally think this could be the worst set ever made in terms of pull rates. Like, I think the opening experience for the average consumer for this set is going to be diabolical. I think it's going to be absolutely awful. I think it's going to be a war crime. I really do think it's going to be awful. And I don't think I've ever said this, but as a fan of Pokemon, it is a little bit, I am ashamed a little bit of Pokemon with the decision making. Now, people can have their own opinions on whether or not what's happened, why or what. At the end of the day, I don't really care. Foremost is the pull rates are awful, and the way that the set has been designed for English. Now, with Japanese, you get a hit per box and you get an EX per pack. So it is a fun opening experience. Terrester Festival is an extremely fair and great opening experience. It's a high-class set. The English is not that. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos PokeRev's done already, and some of the other, Twice Baked Jake, some of the other content creators that report on this. They have already talked about, the data. To get any specific SAR you want, it's 1 in 2,000 packs, which is ridiculous. Then I've seen people open 400 packs and get 1 SAR, and then it'll be like an Ogapon or something, one that people don't generally want. People want the evolutions, right? The gold Pokemon, like the Pikachu, are basically non-existent. I've never seen any of them pulled in all the videos I've seen so far, which is ridiculous. Even an EX, a normal EX, is really, really hard to pull. Now, the problem with the composition of this set is there aren't any illustration rares. You've got the EXs, obviously, and you've got the SIRs. So that slot where the illustration rare used to be is now the Master Ball and Pokeball slot. So you can rack up a lot of these Pokeballs, and the Master Balls are not difficult to pull. Like, they're okay. Now, this is the first time we're ever having these rarities in English, and I think that it was a mistake. Pokemon clearly, obviously, wanted to focus on these two being the new rarities for English, but at the expense of the set and opening experience just being a bit awful, honestly. Not a bit awful, it's absolutely, it's awful. It really is bad. I feel bad for people that wanted to master set this. I generally don't think the average person in Pokemon will ever complete this set. I think it's going to be really, really, really difficult to complete this set. You're going to have the best luck ever. It is literally like winning a lottery, and you need to win the lottery multiple times to finish the set. As I said, 1 in 2,000 packs to pull a specific one is just ridiculous. I think it's supposed to be 1 in like 62, 64 packs, which is like, what, 1 in 2 boxes or something, just less than that, to pull an SIR, but that is not what I've seen from the pull rate data that I've seen from openings. Obviously, it's a bit hard unless you have a scale where someone's opened up 100,000 packs. It's difficult. Now, we'll have more data on actual release when stores are opening up product for singles and stuff like that. But I will be opening one of each product for YouTube videos. Outside of that, I am not touching this set. I'm just going to focus on collecting the bits that I still want for my collection, picking up my Pikachus, my Mews, my Whismers, my Spoinks, picking up a couple of the illustration rares from some of the Scarlet Violet sets that I really like. That's what I'm going to do. Pokemon Mike mentioned it recently. He's just kind of just picking up the bits he wants. He's picked up some of those Growlithe from Twilight Masquerade, the illustration rare, the Hisuian ones, which are really pretty. He's a good boy, Growlithe. He's one of the bestest of boys. And he's just picking those up. And I think, ultimately, that's really what people should be doing. Just picking up some cards that you want for your collection. I have a fairly big stack now at this point. These are bits that I just want to grade at PSA. So I've got a complete set of CP5, which is the Legendary Dream and Mythical collection. So I've got a complete set of that to grade, and then I've just got a load of Pikachus. I've got some Yu-Gi-Oh bits in here actually as well, but there's some like Pop Series stuff, just a load of random, Pikachus and stuff, Legendary Birds as well, just bits like that. Look, ultimately, there's loads in Pokemon, right? I think a lot of people feel like they have to keep chasing every single set. It might have been like that years ago. That was doable, right? Don't get me wrong. I've been here. I've done it exactly the same thing. But ultimately, I don't think that's possible or doable anymore in the current climate of this game. So I think just pick goals, focusing on them. Ultimately, it is just... Look, as I said, I'm not happy with Pokemon. I think that was a really bad decision here. They clearly, obviously, know the composition of the set. It feels bad because there's no illustration rares. Now, if you were pulling illustration rares more often and maybe EXs more often, okay. I understand the SIRs being really hard to pull. Don't get me wrong, obviously. I don't know if the evolutions are seeded less than the normal, the other ones that people don't want. But all I'm seeing is full art trainers and Pokeballs and Master Balls. That's all I'm seeing from openings. Don't get me wrong, like, okay, these are nice. Pokeballs and Master Balls are great. But if I could take that back and remove those, because they're in the slot the illustration rare is, I'd rather illustration rares. Ultimately, like the illustration rares, I don't know if I have any on me. I have a couple here. Let's have a look. We have some, just moving my chair here. We have a couple here that we recently pulled from Twilight Masquerade. So these are really nice. You see what I mean? Like, these are really fun to pull. People like these. People enjoy these. This is what a lot of this has been about. Scarlet Violet era has been so great because of these, these illustration rares. And unfortunately, we don't have these in the Prismatic set. So the next set, with the partner Pokemon, Journey Together or Battle Partners, it's going to be the same sort of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, you get booster boxes, so I'm not saying the composition, the pull rates will be bad, but I think it's still going to be mental. I'm seeing boxes listed up at £150, €180, $170 for pre-order already, which is above MSRP. Now, as I said, I'm not going to shun businesses, and I've seen a lot of business already doing this. I'm not going to call anyone out because ultimately they can run their own business however they want. Get that bread. Ultimately, I know what it's like during the bad times when it's barren and you can't sell. You're buying boxes from Distro for $97 and you can't sell them. And then the reprints of Surgeon Spark is like $125. And then they bundle it with Battle Academies, which is something I don't think a lot of the consumers know. But Distro, specifically in America, whenever you buy product, they can actually change the price. So Distro pricing isn't the same. In the UK, thankfully, we pay X price, which is, quite high compared to what the market has been. But if you look at it relative to MSRP, if you pay £96 a box from Distro, you sell it at 120, 130, you're going to make some profit there. Now, if in America, Surgeon Sparks, for instance, did a reprint, and then Distro are like, cool, well, usually boxes are like $95, but this reprint is now $120. So you've got to sell those boxes for 140 to 150 to make any profit. And then people are like, why are these stores selling it for $150 when it was $100, before? That's Distro. They put the price up. Or you want Charizard UPCs or 151 UPCs as a restock. Cool. You've got to buy Battle Academies, which don't sell. Nobody opens Battle Academies. Every shop I've ever been to that sells Pokemon just has them sitting in there. They're a great product to introduce people into Pokemon, but people generally don't buy these products very often. And they're just not a great product in terms of like off the shelf. It's great if a store has a couple of them, but Distro obviously has tons of them. They can't get rid of them. So they are going to make you have to buy for every box, say you want a case of Pokemon, you've got to buy a case of those. And then they're just left with product that they can't sell. So that is another factor as to why sometimes with these reprints that prices are a bit higher. Obviously, some of it is to do with the market, but a lot of the time it is to do with Distro pricing. I think I'd like people to understand that before you attack a business because they've charged a little bit more for a reprint, when there's actually a reason why they've done that. And I don't think the consumer, on average, really knows that. But I will be selling boxes of Journey Together. I think it works out, if you're a member, it's going to work out around £130 a box if you're a YouTube member. A little bit more if you're not. But priority obviously is going to be for that. We've seen a couple of cards leaked already, which I'll post up here. The set looks pretty cool so far. The Furret that was announced today, chef's kiss. Beautiful card. Really nice card. Very happy with that. Obviously, we've got the Reshiram, Ends Reshiram, which is going to be, because they've got enhanced booster boxes now. Not quite sure how that works, but basically it's going to be kind of like a box topper that comes with the box. So I think it's Ends Reshiram, and then the Ends Zora is the promo for the ETB. Which is pretty interesting. So it's going to be nice to see this set. I'm more excited about this set. I actually think a lot of people weren't excited about this set, but I think because they can't get Prismatic, they're just going to go on to the next set, or they're going to drip back into Terra Festival, the Japanese set. So I'm interested to see what happens. I'll report on it as always. But here's a quick update, basically, kind of what's happening, my thoughts. As I said, I am a little bit flabbergasted, honestly, with everything that's been happening. For those of you that were counting how many times I said mental in the other video, fair play. I didn't realise I said the word so often until a few people DM'd me saying you should have a counter for how many times you've said it. And I was like, really? Did I say it that much? And I did watch it back. I did say it a few times. I was quite hyped. As I've said in some videos before, a lot of the videos I film are like early hours of the morning. I'm jacked up on coffee and I'm just sorting cards and listing and packaging and stuff. At the moment, Sealed is just going mental. I've just sold tons of 151 UPCs, which I didn't think I was going to sell for a while. Booster boxes, I've been cleared out of Twilight Masquerade, Paldea Evolved, that I was willing to sell. I've just had some more Japanese stock come in. So I've had some of the Super Electric Breaker and the Paradise Dragona, which is the Pikachu set, Surgeon Sparks, basically. They're the two sets that make Surgeon Sparks. They're both amazing sets, by the way, in Japanese. They're sold out in the Pokemon Center, but you still can get them, you know, in the UK at least, you can get them for like £40 to £50 a box, which if you can't get Surgeon Sparks and it's like £150, £60 a box, I think get one of each of those is probably a fair trade. You're going to get one hit per box. So we might have some of those openings on the channel. But yeah, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know in your comments below. Let me know in your comments. Let me know in my comments below. Your thoughts of what's going on. What's your favourite card from Prismatic? Are you excited for the next journeys together? Are you going to get Prismatic? You know, let me know your thoughts down below. I really like the debate and the conversations that are had in the comments section. It also really helps with the algorithm as well, pushing it. If people comment early on when I just upload, even if you just say hi, I really appreciate it. I'm going to start doing giveaways as well for people that comment in the description below. So I'll sort something out. It might be some packs or some cards or whatever. I'll sort the logistics out of that because obviously I might have to ship abroad, which is fine. Like, it's fine. And as always, have a great day.